Welcome back, guys, to part two of our springtime scouting adventure up here in the big woods of northern Wisconsin. What we did in part one, if you remember or saw the video, we found a very attractive feeding area. It was comprised of a very healthy cutover area, and adjacent to that was a healthy oak stand that was actually producing quite a bit of healthy mass of acorns last fall. And the deer were hitting it pretty hard. And we found some good sign there, some good buck rubs. And on top of that, we saw a healthy area, a scrape area itself that was being used last year pretty hard. So at that point, you have to make a decision if you're going to just stay here and hunt that area, or do you want to move on and try to find their bedding area? And that's where we are taking off on part two. When we left part one, we were up by the scrape area, and I stayed on his trail. I'm about maybe 200 acres, give or take, away from that area now. And as I spoke of before, this buck particularly was looking at a south-southeast direction. And it is something I think we're going to pursue. I think we may have a chance at maybe locating it. I don't know where he's going to take us. But I'll tell you something, doing the springtime scouting like this is just a ball. I mean, you got beautiful weather. What? It's 20 degrees out, frosty. You don't over sweat, overheat itself. You have no bugs and anything, and it looks like it was last fall. It's a great sport. It's actually a sport of its own. I do it 12 months out of the year just for the fun of it. It's great. And I'll tell you the truth, though, a lot of times you'll come up dry. I've traveled many areas following a trail, and it just dissipates into nothing. Maybe it was the wrong trail, or he just ran off into different areas. I don't know. Every buck is different. So what we're going to do, we're going to see how this guy is, where he takes us. I'm at the end of this cutover area. I'll show you in a little bit. And we're going to be entering woods. A healthy stand. It looks like behind me over. It looks like it's a healthy stand of mature maple. So he's going to have to cut through there somewhere if he's on that direction of a south-southeast, because he has to go to his water. We know that. That's common sense. Now, the cool part is we know that when he comes back to this feeding area, he's going to be in a north-northwest direction. And what is that? Prevailing winds are going to be right up his nose. So I think he'll stay in this direction, but where he takes us, I don't know. It's sort of cool in that respect. A sport like this in the spring, you see all kinds of wildlife. They take you in different areas. I'll see a lot of bear. They'll sort of look at you and go the other way. It's sort of neat. You'll see all kinds of different wildlife, and it also hones up your skills. It really does. So by the time fall comes, you're pretty well sharp in that respect. But it is a sport that not everybody enjoys. Let's face reality. I have a lot of sportsmen that, believe it or not, you know what their biggest question is? Do you ever get lost? If you fear that, then I don't really suggest you try something that goes in this deep into big woods. But I'll tell you, nowadays, most guys have, I don't carry any of that, but most guys have all the technology right there on their phones if they get lost, whatever it may be. For me, I just follow landmarks. I got a busted oak that I can't forget to see on the way back. Or there again, you can see the sun is out right now, so I know that's a south-southeast over there. It's things like that that add up. Now, at nighttime, when I'm coming out to my hunting stands, say 3:34 in the morning, common sense, I do put in a couple tacks in the side of the tree. I put the kind that go into the side. They're really handy. I just pull them out on my way out. That's about all I ever have used. So it is something you can't fear. Just enjoy it. Be focused on just that trail itself. Now, you get lost, and sometimes I had to circle back a little while ago to find his trail again, but look behind me. See, he left this in a little scrape. So I know I'm still on his trail, and that's all they're going to leave you up here, guys. They're just going to leave you a couple rubs here and there. Now that the snow melted, I had to wait a week or so. We got some snow last week, so I had to wait for it to melt because I want to find the scrapes. I want to get to his bedding scrapes. That, to me, is number one. You got your scrapes in a feeding area you can hunt, and then you got your bedding scrapes right when he gets up. He's got premier bedding scrapes where nobody bothers them. They're back in a long ways. But what's interesting, when I put cameras on those with a licking branch, you'd be surprised the does that come into those scrapes. They know them. They know where all these scrapes are at. You'll find a lot of them, you know yourself, a lot of scrapes along the way. They don't mean much. I don't waste my time on those. All they are is a sign that I'm in the right area of where this buck may be living. But beyond that point, guys, let's take a walk over here. We're going to enter into the woods now because I'm pretty well done with the cutover, as you can see. And let's see what develops at that point. I'll keep you in touch with it. Okay? Got it. Okay, guys, I'm back in the woods now. We left the cutover, and I picked up on a trail. I know it's probably hard to see right here, but it goes right on through there. And it's heading south yet. You can see the sun's over there, still heading in a south direction. See that? I know it's pretty hard to see. He's veering a little bit back and forth, back and forth. There's a little rub right here. I don't know who's doing that or whatever it may be, but no big deal. But see, we left the cutover. There it is. Right away, we picked up on a trail right here. Okay? So we're going to continue through here. If you notice, it's starting to get a little thicker as we go down there. We're going to see where it drops off at, okay? I'll continue on. Okay, he veered to the left a little bit. I see where they've been scratching here for acorns at one time. Let's see where this little faint trail takes, where he's going here. He all of a sudden took a left. Hey, look at this. Hang in there. Look at this. Look at this. We have an old, looks like an old logging spur where they used to skid out lumber years ago. Look at here. Look at here. Hey, we're onto something, guys. Scrape, branch, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, so look at this. He's taking this logging trail, which is easy access for him. I get that. Look at here, dropping. Yeah, they're coming out of the bedding, they're hanging around. Now, it's hard to tell right now which way he threw the dirt. A lot of times you can tell if he's coming or going when he's making that scrape. Here's another little one. Hard to tell this time of year, but it shows some. Got the branch up above. Okay, let's take this a little farther, okay? Okay, see the old logging road, look at that. And right now we're maybe a 40 acres away. You can barely see the old cutover back there. Let's continue on. Hey, get a load of this. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, there's some muscle. Boy, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, guys, come all the way up. He's up in this area too. Yeah, nice. So see, some of those big guys, they like, oh, look at that. That's very nice. It's all the rep. He was working it. Nice, hefty maple he's on. Okay, that's a good sign, guys. What happens, a lot of the mature bucks will take these trails. It's easy access for them. But you got to remember where he's coming from. We don't know yet. But this may be late at night when he's coming out here. We'll have to see. All right, let's keep going. Still going. Another 50 yards. He's still marking his territory. Hey, come all the way up. He's still marking it. Good. There's some, I noticed some historical scrapes in here too. Rubs, I'm sorry. So I'm thinking this is used from year to year. And I'm willing to bet he's still here. I mean, there's no hunters, so we'll have to continue on and see. Okay, we're still walking along. We're getting farther back in. This logging spur is going quite a ways. Usually they just dead end at the end. But notice his trail. It's getting more defined as it gets a little more narrower along here. So he's pretty well locked in on staying on this trail so far. We'll continue on and see. I'm quite a ways back now. And you know, this is the deciding point of a lot of hunters. They may turn around if they don't see sign. I haven't seen sign now in about, oh gosh, maybe 100 yards, give or take. But the trail is still here. So this is where you just stay with it. What do you got to lose? You're this far back in. Why would you turn around? You have to make that choice though. Sooner or later, the trail either just, like I said, dies out or something picks up. So what we're doing, let's go along and just see what's on top of this hill here, okay? Well, What do you think? I think I see something here. There's your scrape right there. There's your scrape. There. I don't know if you can see it. There's even hair in here yet on the branch itself. I'll be darned. Hard to tell in the spring a little bit. There's more leaves. But here's one that was scraping right here. All right. So maybe we're getting a little closer. If you notice, it's a little more thick in here. But it's still open maple country. He don't care to go through there. He wants to get from point A to point B. He wants to get from bedding over to the cutover and eventually to the feeding area. I'm sure that's what he's up to. But back here, he may do some hefty breeding. If we're getting close to where I think he is. I don't know. We're going along here and it's got to end pretty soon here. Wow. You see what I see? Look at this one. Holy crap. Wow. Look at that scrape. Wow. Not bad. Licking branch. Whole 9 yards. Wow. Oh, that's a good sign. Look at these old historical rubs here. So year after year, we must be getting close to something. Must be getting close. All right, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Let's continue on. Well, the road is coming to an end finally. We're another probably 150 yards from where I showed you those scrapes. And just an old trail now, narrowing down. And there it drops off into a swamp. So therefore, I think this is where he's bedding at. This is where he's first coming out. When he gets up on top, he's making his signs. Now you get the picture. We're winding down. We're at the end. He is bedding in this area. He has to be. Swamp, thicker than all get out. Wet, low area. And he can literally bed anywhere he wants in this area right here. It just turns into a jungle. Yeah, it drops down into there. Here, he can live anywhere he wants in here. This is his starting point. Now just think of where he's at. Keep that in mind from where we were. Okay, guys. I'm at the final point. I'm coming down a hill into the swamp itself. This is his home. I'm not going to mess with this. I won't even be around here. This is his bedding area. Let's treat that a little more sacred than we should. Sometimes people over-abuse their bedding area. I don't care to. I'll be on top waiting for him. See if he comes up. There's rubs. All kinds of rubs everywhere. Rubs here. Here. This is his little staging area as he's waking up. You can just tell. There's your swamp. There's your wet bog down in there. He's down in the bottom here. Look at all the historical rubs, everything. Oh my gosh. Year to year. Look at this. You see him? Oh, this is incredible. Rub after rub. Is still on a faint little trail. I'm going to end it right up here. No point in going any farther. I know. Can you see this little trail? Look at that. Believe it or not, we're still on his trail. And here's where it dissipates. And believe this or not, I think this is a bed. I really do. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. That's all matted down. Look at the droppings right there. And just all matted down right in this area right here. I think this is one of his beds right here. I'm backing out of here. We're back up on top here now, where we were just down that bedding area that we found down by the swamp. And we're going to come up here and put up a licking branch. But I caught something out of the corner of my eye. See that water over there? There's your whole combination. He's got the water, he's got the swamp, he's got bedding. Nobody bothers him down in there. So what we're going to do, let's put up a licking branch in this area. Well, this is it. We're right here at the end. The swamp was down below where they were bedding. And right up on top here, if you notice when we were coming here, he was starting to make scrapes up in this area along this trail. So I'm going to put up a mock scrape here. I'll put up my licking branch, put up a camera, and what we'll do, we'll follow this through the summer. Let's see what develops. Sometimes nothing happens. The cool part is about doing this in the spring, there's nobody here. The deer aren't even here in this area yet. They will be moving in maybe in the next month. But there again, as you see on all my licking branches, I always put my little juice on there to jumpstart it. I know it's early, but just to show you, I use a little water, ammonia, and some doe urine. Just for the fun of it. I've always done it. Probably always will. For some reason, the does love that. They're great pictures. They'll climb all the way up this thing. But once they get going, you know yourself, when a buck puts his preorbital and his forehead glance in, it's good to go. Now, before I leave, though, I want to tell you something. Last year, I had quite an event that I think you'll like. I'm going to show you pictures at the end of this. I went into an area way up north in the boonies. It was way back in. In fact, I was on my fat bike taking an old logging road, midsummer. And I called an I saw a little area where they logged it out years ago. And it's an area where supposedly there's not many deer. Population's quite low. And that's always fun to me, to find out what's going on, how come. So I stopped, I took a walk around the back end, and I found just a faint little trail coming to an intersection on the back end. It was rolling hills, real thick, brushy area. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put this licking branch and a camera, and I'll come back. Let's see what happens. So I came back in around Labor Day, September, okay? And I will show you the pictures that I found there. And it was jaw-dropping for me to find that up in the middle of nowhere. So guys, stick with this, and hopefully I can get those pictures to you right now as soon as we're done here. But we're done in this area now. See, this is what it takes. All you have to do is stick with it. You know, sooner or later, yeah, I get that. You got to turn around and say, you know what, there's nothing going on. But you know what, it seems like you got to go over that next ridge. Never give up on that last ridge. Just go over it, and all of a sudden, there it is. You pop over it, and here's some scrapes. Oh, that goes you to a couple more rubs. Bing, we got down there. We caught a glance of some water. So now we know at least this area is really cool back here. Here's the funny part to think about. This area, right now, I'm probably a good 1.5 miles from our feeding area in part 1, where we left with the scrape. So, food for thought, what time do you think he's getting there at night? So there's a lot of action takes place here. He has that big big scrape over here for some reason. So we'll see what's back here. But my point is, for me, I would love to hunt this in the evening. Oh my gosh. I have just a ghillie suit, so I can go anywhere. I'll go behind here. I'll have to take a look at it. Let's see what develops through the summer, if this is worthwhile. But if so, it would be a great evening spot as he first comes up in the evening. And the other spot over by the feeding area, that'd probably be good in the morning as he's leaving to come back here. Well, that's about all I got to say for this area. So thanks for watching. But stay tuned now. Get a load of these pictures of that area way up north on this licking branch. You won't believe it.